Okay, welcome, family. Welcome. It's a great day today in the neighborhood. And I'm going to start out with a poem. There's one poem in this book I got from the library. Caught my eyes. And it's kind of deep and, of course, much interesting. So let's get into it real quick. I have to step out again, but I'll be right back after this poem. Okay, let's go. It's called The Dedication. And let me see. I love everything about it. I love the way I love the language in it. I love the innuendos. I love um, it's just so much about the dedication. Because dedication means so much to me because I'm all dedicated to a lot of things in my life. At least I have been. And let's get into it. So, with a spade, I went to play hunting starfish on the shore. Mother, that was yesterday, or at the most, the day before. You remember how I brought to your lap the beast I caught? Judge of ultimate appeal, dear undoubted referee. How could you endure the feel of the slab anatomy? As I clamored at your ear, does you like it, mother dear? Bladder rack and Red Sea grass, dogfish purse and worm worn wood. Solemnly I bade you class, asking, Mother, is they good? Then to make their merits clear, 'cause I found them, mother dear. Time has whirled the spade away, turned to slang the baby speech, and the child of yesterday hunts alone a flinty beach, catches starfish as of old, gives him not for love but gold. Drenched is he in green sea pools, seeming shallows, sounding deep. And the wisdom of the schools shows him not where lobsters creep. Never word of pity flows when the creatures tweak his toes. Sponges gathered from the gold cove where the gay Medusa strings, oh no, where the gay Medusa stings. Shells and cuttle make the trove that in heaviest he brings to a judge who doesn't care. Twopence, two opence for the whole affair. Wherefore let the grown up slide. We'll go back to 3:30, hunting starfish by a tide, always still for you and me. Take my troll and stoop more near. Does you like it, mother dear? Dedication. That's dedication. This is I got this from the Yorktown Public Library, so it's poems, 100 poems, old and new, ready, yard, Kipling. Um, Interesting. Hey, Baba Rashan. Peace to you too as well. So I have an open forum today. So if you want to come on and discuss this topic with me about propaganda and just how deep it is, and I have many questions, and I'm sure a lot of other people have questions as well. And hopefully our questions and our understanding and everything will, be clear in it. Not, when it comes to America, I think, it's always going to be a black and white thing. Even though people can say most anything, but many say that black and white is a construct. It is a construct, but it's some truth in it. And every construct has some truth in it. There's always a truth and there's always a falsehood to each side of it. Everything is not just one-sided. It's a construct, but where does that construct stem from? Everything stems from something. There's a foundation to why. There's a cause and effect for everything. There's a reason for everything. Nothing is here just on happenstance. Everything feeds off of everything. Our history, our story as people is utilized to build other things. And this is what we see in the world today, even though the foundation would never get the credit for it. But the Johnny come latelys have formulated things from the foundation, and it is seen as such, as what it is now. So, being that we see things the way it is now, it doesn't mean that it's not, it doesn't necessarily mean there's no truth in it. There's truth because everything, like I wanted to say this back when I was talking about the poem, when I was reading the poem, that when we look at art, we look at a painting. It doesn't just mean one thing to everybody. It means many things to many people. When somebody sees art, when somebody reads art, when somebody looks at this poem, it can mean they can hear it and it can say something different for them than it says for me. So people build off of what is in their minds and the way they see their world. And that's their world. But that doesn't it doesn't mean that it's not a truth. It's their truth. I see a piece of painting, I see a piece of work of art, and I might interpret it differently, but that's my lens. That's my opinion. That's my world. That's the way I see my world. And my experiences and everything come into play when I am critiquing it because that's something that is it's touching me, right? Personally. The art, piece of art I see can either be nay or yay to me. It could be a good piece of work to me, or it could be a bad piece of work to me. It can say something to me that is deep, and I understand it in a different way than the person that is seeing, looking at it, watching it with me, and we interpret it differently, because of their experiences and their viewpoints of life. Um, that doesn't mean that one is wrong and one is right. It's just two different ideas of things or thought process. So when we look at America, we have to think about the propaganda of America is so deep and so huge that it is ingrained in a lot of immigrants' minds as being a certain way, as being real for them. But for me, personally, it's not real. It's an illusion. It's a lie. It's something that the people who propaganda it to be wanted so much to be in their world. But for me, in my world, I don't see it as such. And I've lived and I've been to different countries. So, in different countries, from what I've seen, is like I said, I started out saying it's black and white. Everything is black and white. If we don't recognize that this is what America is built off of, then we can't understand what's going on with people wanting to come to this country and why. With propaganda that's been happening for decades and centuries upon centuries since America's been around, there's been propaganda. Um, since the early part of America, it has always before of course, the before America was birthed, as early as before America was birthed. And you tell me, you tell me when America says it's the home of the brave, or it says, what was my title? I can't even remember. I have to, let me see. Land of the free. When it says the land of the free because of the brave, um, one has to think that one has to know that that is not, there's no truth in that because America has never really won any wars. America has started many wars, and due to economics and due to resources, but America has not really won real wars. Not without the help from, of course, my ancestors, not without the help of my ancestors. Of course, without my ancestors, when in the early parts of America, when they were fighting, it was they they lost. They lost to, if it wasn't for Black folks fighting in the wars, they lost many battles. So war has really been not real wars, I would say, but just wars of resources, like stealing resources in order to take and control. when we understand that we have powers to be that are that I've always been interested in, um, you know, having things go a certain way and utilizing America to as a power to have things go a certain way that they want it to go as always, right? Thus far, it has been going in the way that the powers to be have wanted America to go. So propaganda is the tool that is utilized to do this. Because I would like to know if people really think that America is is the only land where you can have opportunities. And what makes that? Is it whiteness? I would have to say yes. People see whiteness as the main reason why America is the way it is. They don't see anything else when they're told about the opportunities. They see that because in their countries there isn't that as much. Although there is tourists that come over to their countries and stuff like that, they think because of the white factor that America is so great the way it is. But they don't know that there's a foundation of people who've made this country the way it is. And they can't see it that way because they see the white factor in it. And that was all by design. That has all been by design. The, the white factor to make the white factor look like it is supreme. And in many ways, delusional people really believe that it is supreme, that it has been what has made America great. Without seeing, uh, of course, my ancestors, all the other people who are doing this, we're just been used as, um, we've been utilized as the face, as the look, we have done this. You have opportunities too. We've helped Black people. There's like maybe not all Black people going to be able to become NBA players. And like Magic Johnson, like Michael Jordan, the face of opportunity. Michael Jackson, we got, all kinds of people who are the face of opportunity in this land, but who have just been utilized, even though they got greatness and opportunities and they've been successful and done what they need to do in this country. What makes it that people cannot do that in other countries? That's what you have to ask yourself. And then when you ask yourself that, you'll see the white factor in it. Because um, others in other countries, they have just as much opportunities to do the same thing here that's been done here in this country and other countries. But because of the white factor, that go over in a different manner in their countries and steal resources and take advantage of people, it's a whole different thing. You may not do the same thing as America done, but there's a lot of countries, they have opportunities. They have actresses, they have music, great music. They have greatness. You know, America is put in a place where it is like the only place mentally makes people think that it's the only place on earth that can do it. which is not true. It's not the only place on earth that can do great, marvelous things. But along with those great, marvelous things are horrifying, horrific things that happen in this country. That's the underlining secrets, hidden things that propaganda does not want you to know. They want you to know only the what they you know vision in their minds, which is not always 100% true. And so you're thinking free when free means many things to many people. Freedom does not mean just one thing to everybody. It's many things, different things for different people. For me, freedom as a Black person means, what does it mean for me? It means for me having people that look like me, and we have towns, we have cities, and we have economic freedom. We don't have any white people over us or telling us, or controlling us or telling us what this beauty, that white beauty is the standard, or telling us that, what is the standards period in life, far as education, um, telling us, the church, okay, was built for control, telling us how our God and our Jesus is and how they should look, and having a graven image of this energy, and for our people to follow, having liquor stores on every corner. It's not freedom to me. Freedom is people being able to make their own decisions about their own communities, about what we want in life, how we want to walk, how we want to talk, how we want to exist, how we want to be. Not in an economic hellhole, which what we are in now, which means we rely on somebody else's control over money, over finances, when we should have our own. We've earned our own. We've earned not to have to be under any beast. And by beast, I mean wickedness, evil that seek to control and devour you as a people. We have really earned, we shouldn't even have to earn it, but it's there. It's already given because we have done that. We've had to do that, even though we shouldn't have had to do those things. It's rightfully ours naturally, but that is what poses a threat to America. America can't be great. That's why I say it's black and white, the foundation of it. So if it wasn't for the black and white factor, people wouldn't be coming over here in groves trying to get the opportunities that they see, that they think is opportunities, which it may be ended up being something else, because you cannot have a rocky foundation. You cannot have, like that toilet that when I was fixing my bathroom, I told you the foundation of the toilet was horrible. And I never wanted to use it. Nobody wants to use or be near anything that has got a nasty foundation. So you have to pretty it up. And when you pretty it up, you don't wipe away the truth of it. When you just pretty it up on the outside, the truth is it is broken. It is broken. That's the fact of it. So people are coming into a burning house, horrible, or I should say the house of horrors. People come into the house of horrors, and where from our perspective and from the normal perspective, everything is a-okay. Everything's peaceful, everything's beautiful, everything's good, right? But there's no truth in it. I'm gonna have to pause there. Okay. So they try to pretty it up on the outside when it's a lie on the inside. And so people leave their lands. People who have culture, people who have, because we've had ours stolen. And we've been took and made into a whole different beast. We have been made into a whole different beast as a people. It's sad. Nothing can be done. Just roll with everything because I would tell you this. The propaganda here in Virginia is for lovers. But what kind of lovers, you might ask? What kind of lovers? Because before in Virginia, we know that Virginia was the first colony, right? And Virginia was for haters. People who despised another people with so much discontent and hate. And ooh, it was just so awful. But now Virginia has turned into a place for lovers. And you might ask, well, Marisa, what kind of lovers? Oh, black and white, what it was built off of. And you might think that that's an equal balance, black and white people loving each other. Okay, that's equal balance. No, um, no, because it's not an equal balance and it's not a good thing. Although many people might think in their minds that, oh, this is a good thing. Like it's not a good thing for people to think that only one country holds the key to life. to opportunities, to economics, to everything. There's no truth in that. The only reason why that country holds the key to everything is because it steals everything. It lies, it cheats, it kills, and it does all of these horrific things, and it continues to do all these horrific things until um, all you see is horrific things. YouTube is a horrific place. I used to go to YouTube and get great, beautiful information. Now you come to YouTube and you get horrific information. You get horrifying information. Um, they got it where you think that being of a rainbow of people is better than you being with the people you should have more common grounds with your ethnic group. So everybody's out of their ethnic groups, everybody's out of the country into this conglomerate. So you're away from where God, generator, operator, destroyer, had placed you. And man has placed you in a place where you have let go of values, you have let go of things that are going to help you um, guide you through this life. Kind of like Luke Skywalker, I should say. Kind of remind me of Star Wars because he didn't have his father. He went on a voyage, right? Um, I think he barely remembered his mother. And he had he had a force. He had to be reminded that he had a force with him, right? We don't know that. We don't care about that. We just follow what propaganda tells us. Virginia is for lovers. See how many people believe in that. So many people believe in that. And that's what they live by. And if you, to the contrary of that, you're a hate person, which there's no truth in that. Hate is one that tells you that one group of people are always better than every other group of people. And you can't do it without this one group of people. You'll never be able to do it without this one group of people because they do it better, right? Everything they do better. But is there truth in that? When you know the foundation of what they needed, they had to still kill, rape, do all these things to get that, to make America so great. You had to torture people, which torturing still goes on today. No matter what they say about the democracy, someone's getting strung up, someone's getting beat by a baton with a baton, somebody's getting tased in the back, somebody's getting shot in the back, somebody is dying a violent death in the land of love. But somehow it's the land of love. It can be that, but some people do not have a conscience. What they do to other people, they feel like they can do anything. And no one will stop them. No one would stop them because we don't have the God that we need. We have the God that says, oh, love this energy that we're in, love this world that we're in. When I told you, and the Bible told you 10 million times, I mean, even though the Bible has been taken from my ancestors, my great 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 great, you get it, ancestors far away, it still does not mean there's no truth in it. You know, yeah, I may want to burn the book, but I'm burning some truth. Like I said, nothing is without truth and lies. You got to have that to have balance. But you always want to maintain who you are, what image you were made in, because there's nothing wrong with your image. And for another people to be able to dictate over another people and tell you, no, well, there's something wrong with your image. What about their image? What about what they are, who they are? Is that getting put into judgment? Never. Because if it was, the righteous will prevail. But the righteous will never prevail truly because you don't even know what righteous is. You think righteous means uh, walking in a way for people to see. You know, people got to see it, people got to know it. No, it's in your heart, it's who you are. It's the righteousness that says, I'm not going to do that because I understand already without being told by a book, without being told by anybody that can hurt someone. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to be humble naturally because I know that I might offend someone out there in the world, right? I don't want envy to be a thing upon me. I don't want jealousy to be for someone to be jealous of me. That's not why I walk on earth for. I don't walk on earth for wickedness. That's not what I'm put here on earth for. That's not what I stand for as a person. Someone else can have that, but that's not me. So I know when to humble myself. So some people don't have that in this world, but some people that have it want to mix and mingle with those who don't have it and don't know what that might create in the world. That's why you got to be careful of energies. We always say, be very careful of energies. You know, even amongst ourselves, we have to be careful with energies when we are procreating with each other. You got to make sure that the energies are right or your children will be out of sight. I just have to put it that way because it's a madhouse out here in the world. It is a mad house. And if you don't know what energies, so other people can see it. Other people can see if you're getting involved with someone who's just not your match. And it's deep. But that's what America is coming to. It's telling you that it's okay to let go of yourself, of what you were brought in this world to truly be. So you let go of yourself and you become something else for this world. And you become something else. And you have become something else for this world. Many, many people have. They've let go of who they are. And more people coming over here to this country, and they will be lost. They will be lost to who they are because a lot of young people will allow propaganda to guide them to America, where they think is the home of the brave and the land of the free, but it's really the home of the weak, not the brave. Weak because I say this because many things are built upon lies. And if something is built upon a lie, and we believe it, we live it, and we really think it's real as a people, and we go out here and act upon it, then that weakens us. It makes us weak because we didn't know the lies of war, when nothing was chasing us, nothing was threatening us. But we were the threats because we had to hold a country together and call it great. And we had to have opportunities. We have to make our green money look like it's the supreme being on the earth. We have to continue to have that supreme being on the earth. Control. And from what I see, there's no truth in that. Um, because other countries, I've lived in other countries, and my gas was way cheap. My food was almost free. Um, I would have been a rich person if I was able to live there, right? Or I could have been a rich person if I was able to live there. But one might say, how without your government? It's called being creative and doing the same thing, no different than what you would need for any community, for any place you live. You don't have to look at other countries and how they do things to do things. You just have to look right where you are and think of the needs that your people have, and what and use your culture. And use your culture, because that's what we Black people would do. If we had our own opportunity to have our own land and our own country, you best believe, you best believe we would have been successful a long time ago. But we're a threat. We're a threat to America, so we can't have our own country and be a strong people, because that's a competition for America to be great. So you would have to, this great Black country over here of people that ain't nobody's fool, ain't playing nobody's game, and but how they say it, check me and find out, or come see and find out, or however they say it. So, hmm, propaganda is real deep than what we perceive it to be. When we look at commercials, they propagandize all the time their foods. But when you get there, you get nothing of such when you get your service, when you get the food. It is looking nothing like it looked on television. So, like I said, I don't get where they get that only one country, because it white people, that it's the only country that can be successful. Hey, Jabba Jabba, Jabba Jabba. If y'all want to come up, I have the link in the description. You can come up and chat if you feel free to. But like I said, I don't get where one can say that, but I get that they have these people that can go out, these powerhouse people that go out and make themselves look supreme and go to these countries, and they're put in a forefront where our people are made to look like the success, because they look at the Michael Jordans, they look at the Magic Johnson, they look at the Michael Jackson, they look at all these people, and they say, "Oh yay, America, yay! They allow that. White people allowed this. White people did this. White people, built this. That's the way they see it. But those same white people will give you hell when you come to this country. And control. They want tit for tat. You got to give them something to get something. You got to be willing to do something to get something. That's the underlining thing about America and your opportunities. And don't believe the hype, because all money is not good money. Like they say, all money is not good money, but you got to do some juju over your money. So, with that said, um, it is true that in America, you do have opportunities, right? But you got to realize with that, like I said, with every truth, there's a lie. So there's only so much money that Black folks, we here in America, are allowed to make, or anybody for all that matters, before you get the living tax beat out of you. So do you really have economic freedom here to exceed where you want to exceed? Is it true? Is all of this really true? Is it reality, or is it a falsehood that people are fed and don't understand why they've been fed this? But it looks like to me you fed propaganda as a form of control. It's another tool in the trick bag that is utilized for mind control to get you to move and do certain things that are needs to be done. And not for you to move in your own direction, of course. You can never be righteous and move in your own direction. Person Kid 21, thank you. He says, peace, really been enjoying this broadcast. Well, thank you. I'm hoping that I've been insightful to many, many people on this subject, because this is a very, very important subject. You can't just look at the microcosm. You got to look at the whole bigger picture of everything. And propaganda plays a big part, and it always has played a big part. I would like to share my screen um, and show you many, many propaganda pictures that they use, posters they used to use back in the day. Let's get in and pitch and smash the son of a son. Mm, I'm about ready to faint. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. Let me share my screen real quick. Early American propaganda. There's all kinds of propaganda. The white woman is the savior, medical savior. Of course, that has been grounded and moved on into today. Um, Over the top for you, you know. Okay. It's all kinds of propaganda. Protect your nation's honor. It's up to you to protect your nation's honor and listen now. Um, Civilization calls every man and woman and child. Wake up, America. It's all right for America to wake up, but when Black folks wake up, oh, it's doomsday. They cannot see that we have plans and plots. We cannot know. And then some of our people are like, oh, keep quiet. They may do something. They may take something from you. They may steal something from you. Keep quiet. Shh. Don't say too much. Be very quiet. Well, no, I beg to differ. I'm going to be loud and, uh, obnoxious, and I'm going to tell my truth, and I'm going to see the world the way I see it, and I'm going to tell it like it is. You know. You have all kinds of, and I get tired of people looking at me like, as a Black woman, I asked for women's lib. I didn't ask for women's lib. Women's lib fell on me. I didn't have a choice in the matter. It was a white women ideology. A Black woman had no choice in the matter. We don't have a choice in the matter. We don't have a say. And this is what we suffer from. Now people think it's us. I just have to, roll in it, live in it. This is what I mean. There's no freedom in my life. There's never been freedom in my life because I've always had to go by the status quo, right? Opportunities, you have to see your opportunities. White women made opportunities. Well, no, it wasn't the white woman. It was the Jews who pushed for women's lib, and the white woman is the face of it, right? So now we're rolling in it, we're living in it, and I had the opportunity to be a wave in the Navy. And I had the opportunity to become many, many things, right? Victory is a question of stamina. Send the wheat, meat, fats, sugar, the fuel for fighters. Our next boss, not if we keep them pulling for victory. See, there was a time when I think they thought that this Asian was going to take over the White House, but he still might. Immigration restrictions, Uncle Sam, American labor, had a problem with it, immigration restriction, but they were coming through the hole. This is the old Nothing has changed. You think things have changed? You think that brothers with white women on their arms have made a change of something great in this world? That we have peace, finally, we have peace. Definitely, the black man has liberation. We have peace on earth. Hmm. The two platforms. The radical in Congress voted for Negro suffrage. Every radical in the Pennsylvania Senate voted for Negro suffrage. Stevens, Fournier, and Cameron are the Negro suffrage. They are all candidates for the United States Senate. No radical newspaper opposes Negro suffrage. Geary said in a speech at Harrisburg, 11th of August, 1866, there can be no possible objection to Negro suffrage. Okay, read the platforms. Congress says the Negro must be allowed to vote or the states be punished. Platforms is for Negro, for the Negro. Okay. Even today, look at this propaganda. Forget February for the something something. I can't even read. What's it say? Buy and hold war bonds. You can lick runaway prices. Okay. What? Let me go back to the other picture. Don't speak the enemy's language. The foreign freedoms are not their vocabulary. Speak American. Yeah, making other people out to be the monster, but not honing in on the monster within. That's an issue. If you knew of monsters outside, what about the monster within? The immigrant. Peace at last, huh? Well, we can go on and on and on and on with the nonsense. Mm. When they were soliciting money from children, boys and girls, save your quarters, buy war saving stamps. You see, that's all this country ever known is war, war, fight, fight. So you're not expected to fight for anything. You're not expected to fight for your right to be more than just something under something, anything. Mhm. Something under control of something that does not see you as anything, that has control, has power over you because you don't seek your freedom. You don't seek true freedom. You don't seek truth. You don't seek anything because of the fear of the beast. This beast has incited great fear in the people. If it wasn't because of the white factor that has pushed the propaganda of America, people would not have no reason really to run to America because they want what they perceive as supreme, as great, as they've been told was great and supreme. They believe democracy, communism, America's mortal enemy. But it's an underlining part of what they consider democracy. Democracy means a whole lot of different things to a whole lot of different people. It can. It doesn't have to mean just one thing. See, it depends on what perspective, where you're coming from, and where you live, and what your ideologies are, what you deemed to be right and wrong. That's why I truly know that people depend have their democracy depend upon. Hey, the government spends trillions without audit, but earns 600 on efficacy. They want details. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They want details on a whole lot of things. Yeah. They want details on a whole lot of things. A whole lot of things. Even though something belongs to you, you just want it back. You want that back, and it's still going to cost you. It's still going to cost you under white supremacy. But if something was truly yours, you shouldn't have to pay for it. Mm-mm. Because it's mine, right? I'm just getting back. I shouldn't have to pay that back. But in white supremacist world mind, which a lot of people want to go to and live with them, Go ahead and do that. It's a free country, free world on that aspect of the things. But the way I see it, if I pay for something and I put money into it, a lot of money, and I want to receive that money back, that should be mine without having to pay you back. That's in our Black world. That's probably where our world would be like if we didn't have the minds of the beast that we have now. I admittedly would admit we can't help ourselves. We have that mind. We become that. Sad to say, we have become that. And it is something that more and more of our people are going to go to, because like the foreigners that come over here, they too love whiteness. They too see whiteness as this great thing. Because of course most of them are white too. Most of them are Caucasians. Most of them are Caucasian. All of them are Caucasians if you're not the Negroid. If you're not from the Negroid, such as I am, and you're more on that Caucasian persuasion, then that's what you have. You have this world because this world is in the hands of the wicked. And that's just, it is what it is. I mean, even the good white folks that we say is good white folks, good people, hell, there's good people all over the world, right? It still doesn't make a difference. They're good because they're in their world. You'd be good too if you were in your world. So there's no reason. I mean, there's good and there's bad, right? Who's to say what's good and what's bad? All I know is that the good book says we're in the hands of the wicked. And if you can believe it or not, you can disappear into it, you can melt into it or not. You have a choice. You have that much of a choice. But unless it's painfully killing you because you've been forced to absorb into this world, then by all means make it more comfortable for yourself and just let go and absorb into this world. But I think it's painstaking for me to absorb into this world. That's where my pain comes. No one's torturing me to force me to absorb into this world of wickedness. I don't have to do that. I don't have to have the God over my head. It's a generator, operator, destroyer of who I am and what I am. And that's all the system is made to do. And I'm not going to satisfy that. I'm not going to say, won't he do it? Because of course he will do it to you. He will do it to you all the time. And I don't need him to come do it for me. I need my own energy, feminine energy, good energy. That's good from my perspective to be there for me. That's my generator. That's my operator. And that's my destroyer. The destroyer of things that try to destroy me in an operational way. And I have to generate something greater to prevent that. And that's what I'm doing in my life. So all other things are really meaningless. Are really meaningless. All other things that are not trying to do something different than but the same old over and over again in the past that it has happened, then you're just on a whirlwind of, you're just spinning around in a circle like a tornado. You're just going around and around like a broken record. Oh, well, the broken record is not going around, right? It's skipping. So I take that back. You're spinning like a record. Because if it's a broken record, like I said, it's not going anywhere, period. You're stagnant, which is still the same thing. It doesn't have to be spinning around. It can be stagnant. It can be stagnant. But for the most part, I just see the same thing coming back around again, the same old, same old. And that it is what it is, you know. Propaganda is real. Lies is real. And visiting a country, there's nothing wrong with visiting a country, exploring, seeing new ideas, learning, going to school, you know. But if I have my own country, I'm not going to forsake my country to come and engage in a culture that is built on black and whites, with white being on the forefront. I'm just not going to do that. I'm just not going to forsake my utopia, or what I have as utopia, my energy, because that, what I might be doing is exchanging something. I may be not appreciating what I had, and I may be stuck in something that I did not ever or could ever foresee myself in. So, other countries do have economic opportunities. It's just things are kept up by chaos, by wicked minds, and going into the minds of others and doing horrible surgery and causing them to think or be or do the bidding of the wicked, and making you have this horrible place you are, which is supposed to be your utopia, not your utopia anymore, but a hellhole you want to flee from, instead of sitting back and doing something about it. Hell, I'm in my hellhole, but I'm about to do some shit about it. I'm a grown woman now, not no child anymore. And now I'm on the forefront where I have to do something about it. I have to do something about it. I can't just sit back. I can't just flee to another country. I can't flee to my own island someplace. I can't flee to my own, what they call those little places in Europe. I like to live on one of those little sea islands where I have to get back and forth on a boat, or they call it I forgot what they call, but that's one of my fantasies. And it used to be a fantasy to have a castle, but castles are cold and, dark. They're not heated like homes and stuff like that. But that's beside the point. But either way, I can't flee. I just fleeing where, from what? Because it's everywhere, and it's going to be everywhere for me and a lot of my other brothers and sisters that look like me. Now, I may not be dark skinned, but all Negroid people suffer regardless of your color. They only see one color, and that's black. And I've been called nigger and a whole lot of other names, just as a dark-skinned person has been called nigger. So, with that said, I hope there is understanding that just because I'm light-skinned or someone's dark-skinned, that there's no difference. There's no difference. There's no difference. You may think there's a difference, but I'm telling you, there's no difference in us and how white supremacy works. There's no difference in how white supremacy works. It's going to work the way it wants to work. And as we see, this is early America propaganda, but we still see it today. It's still alive, I should say, today. And you can do that by television. What are you showing overseas? What are you showing overseas that is, hey, General Mosquito, thank you. Thank you for that comment. What are we seeing overseas on the television that is making the people, pushing the people to come over here? They are seeing things that they deemed better than where they are. But who's saying that those things are better? What is conducive for you? Do you have to come over and make American dollars to have a conducive life? Or can life be great where you are? Why can't it? Isn't it offensive to you to say, I have to leave my country? Flee my country to come to a great country? Wouldn't you call that offensive? I see it as offensive because that's saying that we can't do great things. It's offensive to when you have universities in your country, but you want to come over here to learn. It's offensive because you have great people, great instructors, great teachers. But the education has been dictated to by the same people who holler democracy, democracy. Education has been dictated. It really has been dictated. You have to learn this certain things under white supremacy. Now, is white supremacy a democracy, or is it only a democracy for them? Can other people have democracy, their own democracy, or do we have to only have white supremacy democracy? I remember we are a threat to America. There would be no more America if we had it good. So they have to make it tough for us, right? We can't have it good, or it will be no America. It would be no white supremacy. It would be no, you see, you wouldn't have all that greatness. I don't see why we're a threat when there is willingly people within my race who would be willing to stay around and stick to status quo, you know, because they need that. They feel like on the plantation back in the days, they didn't want to. They didn't have me. We didn't. We don't have no place to go, master. We stay with master. We want to. I have a bad interpretation of slaves back then. Okay, master, we want to stay with you. We don't want to leave. We don't have no place to go. No place to go. That's what they said. While others were like, hell yeah, we're getting the fuck out of here. We're out of here. And Cincha and don't want to be with you anymore. See, that's some of us. But some of us are more like, they want to stay under that. They feel like the threat for them is to not be under white supremacy. So I don't understand white supremacy feeling like their America won't be America. Because you always have some people want to stay back. But I guess the fact that there weren't people staying back on the plantations and plantations shut down, there was no more plantations. So yeah, I get it. I get that. But those same people are still here. They didn't go nowhere. Everything just changed a little bit. A little bit. They just rearranged how they set up everything. But those same people are still on their plantation. So still have it. When you hear America, the first thing that comes in your mind is the amazing Black people. There is no America without. Exactly, General Mosquito. That's the truth. That's the underlining truth that is not pushed to the forefront because we get they don't see that. You know, our people can see it. Some people can see it. It depends on some of our people who, whether they've been brainwashed or mind controlled with propaganda of some sort that says white is might, and that we are the problem. Black people are a problem, which is there's no truth in that. There's no truth in that. But they would have you believe that. They know how to do things, Like I said about the television, they know how to make it look for the particular person, like any work of art, pull you in to a world and have you following that lead because you got that idea from what they've been showing you. They show you a series of things and a pattern. You get the idea and you jump on it. You think it's okay for you, but it's not okay for you. It's not okay for you. It's a death trap most of the time. It's sad to say. In my hometown, Mexicans come back in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. We had all kinds of foreigners, but they're always in the Black poor neighborhoods. You know, the low income neighborhood communities, that Black people depend on to help them get a leg up, you know. So, and to move on. See, everything's a process. It's a good process. In a way, why do we have to go through it? Why don't we get, what we need as a people here, so we don't have to go through those things. Why aren't good white people building us back up or allowing us to be built back up or assisting us since they did tear down? That's the question. You tear a people down, but you don't want to assist in building up the proper way that is going to boost us up because it's a threat. We've always been a threat. At that point, economically, they have the upper hand, right? They have the controls, you know. Unfortunately, we don't have too many brave people in our race. We have quite a few, but not enough. In our race, everyone should be brave. But dealing with the beast, it can be frightening, I guess. So, therefore, that's what we do. He said, Jibba Jabba said, why else would they steal our ideas, dress, music, art, and other intellectual attributes or endeavors? Yes, they steal in our lips too. And I think that's about the funkiest, stinkiest thing, ugliest thing that any white woman could do is boost her lips up. I remember my favorite actress, well, one of my favorite actresses, in God in Light. When I saw her get the lips plumped, I mean, it looked good on her, but she did it too much. And now when you see her, it's just you do it too much. It looks good on certain people, but some people it just do not do don't still black women's lips. Leave the lips for the black woman. Certain people can do it, certain people cannot do it at all. That's what I've come to that determination because I've seen majority of the women that try to do the big plump lips now, you just don't have the facial structure for it, and it looks like you just got a big ass on your mouth, and it's horrible to me. It's nasty looking. It's gross. Do not steal black women's lips, anything but black women's. And then trying to get the big butt and the big lip too, and then have the big boobs. Oh my God. Men are, I mean, it's just like, it's not good look. It's not a good look. Zero. And that tells me that men in this place, if they think that's something great about that, big lips, big butt, I just don't see it. It's nasty to me. It's gross. It's like, ew. I don't get it. Who would want to walk around looking like that? It's an embarrassment and a disgrace to even look like that. If you don't have it naturally, leave it alone. I tell you today, I do not want a big butt. I always have a conscience about that. It's just, it's, it's not, it's disgusting to me. It's not indignative. I mean, if it's natural on you, that's fine. But if it's not natural, and Lisa Rena on Garden Light, Lisa Rena was on Garden Light. Let me look her up. I think that's Lisa Rena. She reminded me of a girl I went to school with. That's why I was like, that's perfect. And the girl I went to school with is black. But I think it's the same one. I'm gonna have to look it up. Yes, Lisa Rena. Yes, she reminded me of a girl I went to school with, and Yeah, that's Lisa Rinna. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen with Lisa Rinna. Definitely. You knew right off the bat, Gotten Light. Yeah. Because she went a little bit too far. I was like, right here. Let me show you where the perfect lips were. Well, let me show you where her lips were perfect. Her lips were fine here. Her lips were fine. I don't like this. I guess she kept them. Did she make them a little bit bigger? No, I think she kept hers. She kept hers pretty much down. But I mean, these may be old pictures. So the newer pictures, she may have. The newer pictures, she may look different now, and a lot of them just overdo it and make them look like butts. And it's just nobody wants to see all that. It's just not. You want to be. I like to be for me just discreet and never. That's just self consciousness for me. If it's natural for you, it's beautiful, it's fine. But if it's not natural, why would you want to make something that is not indicative of you? It's not who you are, but you're running around with the big caboose because you wanted to get, make it look bigger. And it's just not, it's called destruction. It's called destruction, self destruction. And I just wouldn't do that to myself. Like I said, my lips are naturally full. And yeah, that's Lisa Rinna. Yeah, she was I think she went to didn't she recently she plumped them up more. Or at least in the on the TV they look like they're bigger than the way they looked back in the days. Yes, the Guiding Light. Yeah, I watched it with the old folks. I watched Guiding Light was my favorite soap opera. I even remember before Guiding Light used to come on, there was a soap opera. There was a little show when the women were in the prison. The women were in the jail, and I used to love to watch that one too. And they were in the jail, and that was their life there. They were just, showing that little show. But as the world turns and gotten like I started getting into as the world turns, but every day I got off from school, 3 o'clock, around 2:30. By the time I got home, I made it home in time for God and Light every day. And as the world turns a little bit. But they took God and Light away. I wanted to be on that soap opera so badly. I wanted to be on that soap opera. When they, it's like I should have just many times I think I wish I just went on ahead and did that because I loved Guiding Light. I was a Guiding Light 100%. Wear the T-shirt Guiding Light. You know, it was everything to me. You know, I would say it was one of the best soap operas. But all the other ones are gone, and I mean are on, and Guiding Light is gone. Yep, there would be no America without us. So they need us here, right? In our greatness. Well, no one wanted to come up today, and it's a free forum for anybody, even those in the clouds, strangers that never been around. I'm not really a stickler, or I don't care about if you are just bring and state your opinions and your ideas of what you think and how you perceive things. You know, that's how I feel about it. So, since there's nobody that wants to come up, I'm going to end right there because I'm going to have to take care of some things today. And I may be back on this evening. Like I said, 6 o'clock is a good time because it seems like it's around nighttime. Is that a good time for people? Because, yeah, see. So, family, with all of that said, um, there's truth and lies and everything. And the truth is, Black folks, we built this country. We make it great. It wouldn't be great without us. Um, we give the seasoning and the delicious sauce on the whole uh, plate to make it what it is. So it's true. Without us, they may make it look like the powers to be are the reason. Like whiteness is the reason, but contrary to that, the true reason is us, and people don't know that. When the propaganda is put out, it's more like the white face that gets the credit. So, with that said, always remember true love, real peace, your higher self within you, the soul. Until next time, peace, family.